The most sophisticated real estate investors understand one thing that any other buyers don't. Private sales are not just founded, they are accessed. Portals and listings are public, but the channels to the private sales are completely different. Welcome to our third episode. We're so happy to share with you a very interesting topic. And I'm here today with Wendy and Maka, and we are going to share all our perspective about a very, very important for you if you are an investor and you are focused in Panama.
Sure. A private sale is not only something that we do, it's one of the things that we do best because at Belux we spend years building trust and with the developers in Panama. So that's why we can give you this exclusive opportunity to private sales.
A private sale is a transaction that happens outside the public. There's no MLS listing, there's no portal, no open house or marketing campaign. This is something that happens entirely directly with buyer through us and the developer.
It's very, very important to understand this is a completely way to buy. And that's what we're going to talk today, guys. Let's mention four important topics for our clients that are seeing us today about exactly what is a private sale, what's the real estate investor advantage if they choose a private sale, and also which is that inventory, why that inventory it doesn't exist in the public market, and how they can access to that. And let's start about that 4 points. And in the number one, Maka, explain us what is a private sale.
So the way that I like to explain it to my clients is you have the public market, right? If an investor, someone is looking for a property in Panama, they will usually go online, they look at the portals, understand what they want to see. There's a lot of marketing campaigns of a lot of developers in Panama. So you will normally see new projects in Costa del Este, Punta Pacifica, Bella Vista. But what we specialize is before this hits the market, we have a time frame in which we can offer this new product to a client. I think that the best advantage is, and the way that I tell them is like, this is the friends and family list.
Yes.
Like as you get presented this opportunity, you will probably will not have all the marketing materials. You will not have full on renders, but you can go assure that we know who the developer is, and we can show you the trajectory that the developer has. We can show you where it's gonna be. You can hear it directly from the developer, and I do think that it's something that brings value. First, because you are gonna buy probably 15-20%
Or
price
more.
below
Exactly.
the market. So it's something that's a gain for anyone that's trying to get into the market, because once it hits the market, you will have appreciation on that meter square that you're buying today.
And also
Exactly.
another price. We have the first price. How I see it is when we start working with our clients, we do a first interview, as I mentioned before, to understand your goals and your priorities. After that, we have this private sale, and we can offer you the project that fit with your goals. So because the markets have a lot of projects, not all these projects, because as I mentioned, this is a private sale that is not online. So we can fit your goals and present the project to you. And I think that this is opportunity that, how I see it, best price. You will never find the price that we offer you online, never. And as you buy in this price, your in value increase the increase of the price on time will be better, and also the return if you as an investor want to get a really good ROI.
Yes, well, it's exactly that, and it's very interesting for our clients to understand which are the difference. Another, and the second point that we want to talk, Mac and Wendy, is which are the advantages. Why a client have to choose for a private sale and get the risk, because many of our clients, when they come to us, some of them say, why I have to take that risk, and which is my warranty if I will invest in a pre-sale project, and if I'm buying in a pre-sale project, why I have to start so early, the early access for that project, which benefits I will have. And when we are talking about that, usually three very important terms appears, and I want to uh, ask you, and if you can also explain to our clients, talk about price, terms, and negotiation. Which are the benefits, disadvantages?
So price, I think we already touched on it.
Exactly.
You will get a very startup point on that price, and the promise that the developer, once it gets the project into the market and you see the demand, prices will go up. Obviously, as experts, as we know the market and understand the high valuation areas in Panama, you already know, because you can do the math. Right? You can see the secondary market price, you can see what other projects are in the area, and you can see who's developing that project, and then understand in which price point they are selling. So with all those variables, you can actually say, oh, this is a great deal for my clients. This is a great deal for anyone that's looking to start investing. That's one of the things with the price.
Yes, another advantage is that you have all the inventory, so you can access to the best apartment
Units.
the best units, the best views, and yes, that's one another advantage of the project.
I usually explain to my clients, and that is something, as you mentioned, Wendy, it's our specialization here in Velux Real Estate. And I always mention to that investor that is interested to come to invest with us, the investor is very clear, and the good investors knows which are the advantages. But if you don't understand very well, what I can tell you is you're gonna get the best opportunities in that location if you have a trusted advisor that guide you in the market. If you don't understand the market, we understand very well which are the best projects, which are the best locations, where are located, which are gonna be all the benefits and the guarantees that can give you that developer. And that offers for the investor are gonna be their quarantine, because we have not the crystal ball to say yes, that is going to be super succeed, but we could have that kind of experience that give us the option to understand if we are investing in a good project or not.
Yes.
And the
And
terms.
also another thing that is good for our investor is that flexibility at this point with the developers. On the contract, on the clause, it's different the way they can pay. We can arrange a really good way to make all your payments. So this change where they have a percentage of sales. So this is important because we can play with that.
What are they going to receive in terms of the conditions?
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. They can negotiate more, right?
Exactly. At this point, yes.
And we talk a lot about investors, but we also have first time buyers that we
Exactly.
offer these opportunities because we have access before everyone else. And when I say access before everyone else, is probably months before it gets to the private sale.
To the market.
Because there's a few agencies that have the private sale, but they have the private sales like 2-3 weeks before the project launch. We normally have them way before, which is something that it's a great advantage for any of our clients. I have clients that says like, hey, you remember their private sales? I have another one. Who doesn't want to earn money?
And honestly, a lot of people doesn't know about it, and they think that maybe we are talking like a sales pitch. In the meanwhile, there is a people that they are already reserving the best price, the best unit, and the best project.
Exactly. And well, why do investors have to decide between a private sale or an already existing listing project in the portals? It's something that we have to consider to them. What you said, Wendy, for example.
Well, depends what they are looking for. If they needed to move in quickly or they need the return immediately, well, we can do secondary market. But if you are thinking in the future or making a portfolio of apartments or yes, of apartments, we can help you not with one, with a few in different projects, so you will more a better portfolio of investment.
Exactly. Well, and the last and important thing, the most important thing that we want to explain to our clients is how they're going to access to that private sales. Maca.
Maca, Wendy.
I want to talk first.
Okay, our job here is being really clear with you, okay, and transparency, and help you with your strategy.
But that's a secret. What is this? How they access? Why we can consider Deluxe Real Estate is a very, I consider very luxury company that I feel like in a privilege advantage to another brokers to work with.
Yes, because this is years of trust with the developer. You will not find this opportunity with every broker or every brokerage company. So
yeah, I do think it's a mixture of things. I do believe that Natalia and Isaac have make a name of themselves. And with Belux, they have built trust with developers, but also it's not only words, it's actions, right? So when a developer sees
Numbers.
the quality, the quality of people that you're bringing to the project, and I think the amount of reserve units and signed contracts, I do think that also speaks on our power and this sales. That also speaks more about like the backstage with the developer. And that's why when you look at broker agencies in Panama, you need to make sure that that they what they're saying is something that they can prove. And I do think great advice, the network that you have with other professionals, because for you to be able to, take into a transaction, you need lawyers, you need tax advisors, you need a team behind.
You have a team
Because
here.
the idea is for the client to be able to continue that transaction and be successful at it, right? It's we take them by the hand, understand their goals, and present the opportunities. Normally people will look at the numbers, like it needs to make sense for their goals, for what they're doing, and we're happy to try to build it. It doesn't matter if it's your first property. It doesn't matter if you have a portfolio, if you want to bring the money from Colombia to here or from the States and start building your patrimony here.
We're going to be part of your experience. Well, remember, if you want to receive more information about the best private sales in the market, how to do it, where we can do it, which are going to be the advisors that are going to help you. Remember, we are a very special and a specialized company with the best advisors in the market here in Panama to offer you the best opportunities to access early access
Premium
to the
access.
private purchase. Then follow us and wait for our next podcast. And we're gonna get you more interesting information about how to invest in Panama and continue doing your great portfolio in our country.
Thank you.
you.
Bye bye.